Have you ever noticed that there's some people that no matter what they do, they're always stuck in the same situation or worse off than before they even started that new thing that they were going after? While there's other people that every time you look at them, they're making more money, their business credit is exploding, and they're also being more fruitful with the gifts and the talents that they've been given. In this video, I want to break down with you one word that if you follow and if you use this template from what I'm about to give you in this video, it's going to make you a better business owner. You're going to be more focused and you're also going to be more profitable along the way. I was recently having a conversation with a small business owner who recently joined our program here, the Inside Inner Circle. And he came on board because he has a funding goal that he's looking to reach. And he said, Irv, I know that you guys have different systems that you guys put into place that allows you to get access to business capital. I said, okay, hey, before we implement any of those systems, before we take a look at, how much capital you can get access to over the next 90 days, 180 days, let's first take a look at the four levers that are involved inside of your business and inside of your business credit report. And so the first thing that I did, which is the word that I want to share with you, is I looked at his congruency. I looked at what was already congruent with what he had going on. Being congruent means that you have something that's appropriate. So I looked at his congruency on the way that the business was already structured. So the first thing that I did was I looked at the business name, I looked at the business classification, I looked at the business address, I looked at the business phone line, and I looked at what he had already been able to accomplish up to this point in terms of how he was driving revenue. So I noticed a few key things that were off that was holding his business back from hitting that funding target that he was looking to hit. And so the first thing that I wanted him to fix in terms of his congruency was, hey, let's take a look at your business credit reports. Let's take a look at Dun & Bradstreet, Experian, and Equifax, and let's see what they have reporting on there. If you're wondering, Irv, what does this have to do with him actually getting access to business credit? I thought that he was just able to have good credit, walk into a bank, and get approved. That's symptom. We have to go to root cause. And so him being able to get access to business credit is just a byproduct of him having everything else dialed in. And so when we're looking at things from first principles, you have to go to where that problem first appears, uproot it, put a new system into place, and then you're able to push out that new outcome that you're looking to get. And so in his situation, we took a look at his Experian business on the business side, not the personal, his Equifax, and his Dun & Bradstreet. Lo and behold, all three of the business credit bureaus had his business incongruently filed. This means that even though he had his LLC, even though in his mind, when he was walking into a bank and into these credit unions, he thought that he had the real estate business dialed in properly, but one of the business credit bureaus had him listed as a vendor and supplier. I have no idea why, especially if he was looking to venture into real estate. The second business credit bureau had him listed as a property manager, which is a bit more appropriately matched to what he was looking to do. And then the third had him listed as a land developer. Now, if you know anything about real estate, land developers tend to what I call end up getting the short end of the stick when it comes to getting access to business capital from a traditional financial institution versus them having to go out and get access to hard money, having to go out and bring on equity partners, which ends up ripping through their deals. But I digress. So the first thing that we did with him was we took a look at that. We took a look at his Experian business credit reports, and then we said, okay, we have to make the transition. We have to make the switch from the actual business model that you're running. And so in his situation, it was going to be property management. Now, this may not be the same for you. I'm just giving you a lens in which you could think through, because if you dial this in, and by the way, this is just one of the pieces that we looked at based off the four levers of how we help audit these entrepreneurs so they can get access to business credit. If that's you and you're looking to get access to business credit in a predictable and sustainable way by installing a simple funding setup, let's deep dive into your business, book a call. It's pinned as the first comment down below. The reason why I want anyone that I work with, and especially if you watch our content, it's not just, hey, this is what you do A to Z. There's some tactical stuff, but this is how you think about it, is because if you understand what's causing the problem, you're able to fix the bottlenecks far faster. But I want to transition from just referring to this as an incongruency issue inside of the business credit landscape into how most people tend to run their businesses. You see, the way that some of us end up creating our LLCs, our entities, is a direct It's a direct reflection of how we tend to run our lives and our businesses. When's the last time you actually gave something your all for 90 days? I'm talking about you had this campaign in mind, whether it's Meta ads, whether it's Google ads, whether it's TikTok shop. And after 7 days of running the ad, you spent a couple $100 or even a couple $1,000. You said, hey, this doesn't work. Let me move on to the next product, or this doesn't work. Ads don't work for me. When's the last time, if you are maybe at the level where you're now starting to hire people and you're starting to bring on talent, when's the last time you actually poured into someone over the next quarter, over the next 60 days versus right after 7 days, they screw something up. It isn't how you thought it would be. And then you end up letting them go without clear communication. The whole purpose of you building a business, especially as you're bringing people on, is not so that you can replicate yourself. It's so that you can create leaders with the gifts and the abilities that God's already given them. And so in this sense right here, I think that a lot of us tend to end up cutting things faster than what they should be versus letting things play out and then iterating it along the way, is because of that, again, word is the lack of congruency, which if we go back to its core meaning, it means something that is appropriate. And so you have to define what's appropriate for my business. If it's running ads, and if you know that you putting out content on social media is appropriate because it's going to help get your brand out there, it's going to help you bring in more nurtured leads, it's going to help create more of an awareness of your product, your service, and people are going to like you and trust you and want to do business with you, then guess what? You want to remain congruent with that target that you have. If you know that what you're working on is going to require you to bring on talent that you have to train, that you have to equip, not so that you have a bunch of mini-me's running around, but so that you equip people to have autonomy inside of your organization so that they can make the right decisions even when you're not around. And again, that's appropriate. Then you want to spend that time creating that congruency, kind of like a straight line that no matter where you are, you're able to point right down to where you are. If you want to go, I love this quote. If you want to go fast, go alone. Go alone. If you want to go far, bring others along with you, right? Because you're going to keep each other encouraged. You're going to keep each other accountable. And so I know that this video right here is a little bit of a different spin-off from what I usually post when it comes to getting access to just business credit from a tactical perspective. But I wanted to shed this light because I think that if you learn how to think, not just from a tactical level, where it's like, hey, just teach me how to do this thing, versus high level, I can now see the entire playing field and I know exactly what needs to be fixed, and more importantly, why it needs to be fixed, then you're going to become a better business owner just beyond getting access to the business credit, but what you actually do with the business credit once you deploy that capital into your business. If you found value in this content, consider sharing it. It's the only way that we grow this channel with another entrepreneur. If you are a business owner and you're looking to get access to business capital in a predictable and sustainable way by building and installing a simple funding setup directly into your business, this is what we do day in, day out. We'll love to take a deep dive into your business, see where you're at, where you're looking to go, and how we can help. And if we can help, we'll let you know right there on that call. Book that down below, insideinnercircle.com, pinned as the first comment and in the description. But other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.